All right, so highlights from that paddle. Many highlights. I don't even know how to tell all these stories, so sorry. I tell too many stories. Too long. One was the rocks. Like, a feature of this area was that all these islands had a pretty common pattern where the bedrock, the granite was like exposed and worn by the ocean. The tides don't change much there. I think the tide difference is 6 inches a day. And a lot of this is because Baltic Sea is like a giant bay. It has like a small constraint near Denmark and Sweden where all the water has to go in and out. And so by the time you get up to upper Baltic Sea, like Finland, there's like very little tidal influence. And so historically, this has just created this lake-like effect where the whole Baltic Sea looks more like a lake, and it has this sort of like scrubby zone of hard granite rock, and then above that is where all the vegetation lives. And so the common pattern was that scrubby rock base revealed upper island vegetation. None of the islands were more than 30-40 feet high off the waterline. You know, maybe more in some cases, but like what I saw was like 20 to 30 feet. And a lot of that was just little elevation changes because of the rock, the outcroppings. And the trees were generally short, like scrubby pines that had been weathered by the winters. And so they weren't like super, it wasn't like parts of the US where, you know, pine trees just grow like crazy. This was like tough living for pine trees and stuff. And I don't even know if they were pine, they were spruce and birch and other things that were like native to Finland as part of their sauna. So anyway, really cool vegetation and rocks, and like some of the rocks had patterns of quartz in them that were stunning patterns, like pink swirls, heart-shaped designs, orange and pink colors combined, and you know, contrasting with this dark gray granite. So it was really just fucking cool paddling from that perspective. You would just kind of cruise along slowly, and just, you could look at the shoreline and just be stunned by the rock designs and the trees and the patterns and the weather. The other kind of really cool thing about paddling there was the color of the water. You would look the other direction when it was open water, and like if you weren't next to an island, you would look across the water. And in my case, I was looking towards, what direction would that be? Like southwest, I suppose. And so the water was coming, or the sun was coming across the water, and it was this shimmery, oily, blue, gray mixture of colors, like just combos of colors that are very unique. And according to Mina, that's the trademark of that area, is this sort of like oily, blue-gray, shimmery water look. And so I was mesmerized. I just literally I took tons of pictures of the water trying to capture it, and I would stare at it sometimes, and I would paddle and stop and just stare at the water, because it was just like, what am I in? Some sort of like weird oil painting. I'm in the middle of an oil painting. So anyway, super fun and cool paddling experiences. And then the natural stuff, you know, all the different mushrooms and the ferns and the sorrels and the trees and the trails. And luckily no ticks. So yeah,